Hey guys, this is Jody with the Whiskey Rebellion Barcast. I am your commissioner, and we're here again today, and we're just getting together, just a bunch of guys. At first we had these ideas of top pour, like what do you have that you love that you don't drink a lot of, or which was great. Then we had the idea of finding plastic bottles under $10 and under $20. My man Mark was hooking me up with that one. He had some other ideas too, but that was one of them. It was in there, but it wasn't plastic bottles. He just said under 10, under 20. And then we were talking about just different things and what we'd want to drink. But then I thought, you know what? I just got back from camping, and I had an awesome Jefferson rum cask while we were there, which was nice.
Yeah.
I'm staying with the rum cast, or not the rum cast. I'm actually staying with rum tonight, and I'm having Mount Gay rum, which is fabulous. I've showcased it on the show before, the XO. It's, I don't know if it's finished or not, and I was going to see if it said it, but it has a very bourbon-like taste. It has a lot of those notes that you would get, but with the sweetness that you would always find specifically in a well-crafted rum. And has that nice spice, that you like, but not a lot of heat. But it has that barrel taste that people like us that are bourbon drinkers would love. So anyway, that's what I'm drinking. Mal, welcome to the show again. How are you doing, and what you drinking, buddy?
Very, very well, thank you, Commissioner. Currently drinking, first one of the night is Elijah Craig 12.
Nice. That's
So
a good pick too.
A new one on me. I've seen a lot of the Elijah Craig's line about different shops, different websites. Found this one at a really good price point, and especially because it's now the discontinued bottle design apparently. So, really, really nice, beautiful bourbon. Not a huge nose on it, but it's got loads of legs. Its taste gets more oaky as you go on. I've got it on rocks here, which kind of mutes the finish a little bit, takes out, but you get your standard vanillas, your sugars, and like I say, a lot of oak. Second drink I'll be switching to, special one for me. This is the British Bourbon Society cask pick from Maker's Mark.
That's cool. British Bourbon
That's
Society.
probably a good one. Yeah.
I wish we could get that here, the British Bourbon Society one.
So this, the Elijah Craig's 47%, it's obviously 94. I don't get my fingers out there. This one is 107.5, so I'll be working my way up ever so slightly. This one is the private select. It's finished with a variety of staves, including 46s, Cabernets. There's all sorts. I sent you guys a write-up about it a little while ago before I bought it. This stuff is, we've got French Cuvée staves and 46 staves on the back here. This stuff is awesome. It's absolutely beautiful. Try my best to hold back on it, but once I get one glass down me, I've got to have another.
That's a good dram. I've had that private select.
I've had the private select, but I've never had the British.
No, me neither.
British Society private select.
So a couple of the guys from British Bourbon Society actually went to Maker's Mark and picked the staves that they finished, that it's finished in, and they picked the barrels and whatnot, obviously. So it is superb. I really do wish I could share it with you guys.
I have a question for you before we move on to James. Being in Britain, and see, we don't think about it as much here in the United States because even though we may complain that we can't find certain top shelf or certain unicorns that are out there, this, that, and whatever, being a British individual and specifically a bourbon connoisseur, do you find it harder to find good stuff, and are you like a very small minority within Britain?
I thought I was in a smaller minority than I actually found out on social media. So there are a lot of, as you put it, connoisseurs, experts, and there's an awful lot of us out there in the UK. As far as getting the good stuff, yeah, I struggle. I do struggle, admittedly. I've got a pretty good bar here, to be honest with you, but It's kind of where you guys would say, oh, let me think. So the last part of the VIP conversation, which everybody watching need to be on that.
Yes, VIP is where to be.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys have been talking about Smoke Wagon at around about the $30 mark, $40 mark. The only bottle of Smoke Wagon that I've seen in the UK started at around 145 British pounds, which is very, very. It's not far off because the exchange rate is clown shoes at the minute.
Yeah.
It's about.
Did you say clown shoes?
It's absolute clown shoes, isn't it? It's laughable.
I'm gonna steal that term. I like that.
Sorry, dude. So yeah, 145 pounds is probably about 100, and I might get corrected here, about $130. So that's for a bottle of Smoke Wagon. So you're looking at a ton north of what you guys are being able to pick it up from.
Wow. Well, I will tell you this: Smoke Wagon is solid. Mark had hooked me up with the.
Really wanted to try, but I didn't have 140 ponies. You know what I mean? So I didn't have that kind of.
Is that my uncut?
This is uncut, heading to.
Oh, stop it,
the
man.
great state of Tennessee.
Very cool. Yeah, the Smoke Wagon. I had heard a lot about it, specifically from when Annie and then Jay being on the show and stuff. They were always talking about Smoke Wagon. I was like, so everywhere I went, I was looking for it, or I was typing my guy, and I was like, hey, dude, I need to get this, and I couldn't find it anywhere. And then Jay had it, but Jay had already graciously hooked me up with Heaven Hill Green Label, which was extremely hard to find. Like you're not going to find it nowadays. They discontinued that model that I'm aware of.
Blue, isn't it, man?
It's blue now. And by the way, Billy hooked me up with a blue bottle, and I will tell you what, I love it as well. It's super fabulous, super smooth. It's something that I definitely dig to have, and I love having it in my bar. But anyway, James, tell us what you're having, sir. I'm sorry, your title, sir.
Yeah.
James.
Yeah. No problem.
Get it right.
Don't feel bad, Mal. I can't get much in Wisconsin either, and I'm in the United States here, so I struggle with it too. There's not a lot of around here. It's bad. It's slim pickings. But I got the famous Grouse bourbon cask. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but yeah, it's like what Mark was talking about, like low end bottles. It's like $25 maybe, but. I have to say, for that price, I just kind of gave it a whirl because it said bourbon cask. I thought I'd try it, and it does have a pretty heavy bourbon influence. It's kind of like got the scotchy nose of like real, malty, but when you're, the palate on it's like really vanillas and caramels and nice and smooth, and it's got like a buttery type element and mouth coating to it. For $25, I'm pretty impressed with it actually. Yeah, I've never really tried the famous Grouse very much before, but that was the first one I gave a shot to.
It's an
awesome. And then I brought out a
fun
Stag Junior for maybe a second one. That's pretty much what I got going tonight. And
well, Stag Junior is a definite upgrade to a $25 bottle of anything, just about.
Without a doubt.
Well, I haven't had one of these for a while.
I've got a plastic bottle here I'd rather drink out of than famous Grams, to be honest with you. But that bourbon does sound good.
I've never had the regular famous Grouse. If you probably had, it's pretty bad from what you're saying.
Don't buy a bottle unless you've got paint that needs stripping off your walls or your woodwork. That's what it's really good for.
Yeah, I don't get that off this at all, but well, maybe I'll pass on the regular and just go with the bourbon cask, and then I'm gonna have a small Stag, and that's probably it for me tonight.
Very well.
What you got going, Mark?
Stu, thank you to my brothers Jack Frost and Jody. Maker's Mark, the Wood Finishing Series.
Nice.
Really, 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 really good.
Yeah, is that when the one I sent you, was it 122 or 111 proof? I can't remember.
111.
111, that's what I thought. Yeah.
This is the SE4 PR5 stave. Oh, so good.
Yep.
You definitely get it's labeled as excuse me, barrel finish, vanilla, baking spices, creamy caramel. I can see that. I would agree with that. I'm not the one that's going to get really intricate into identifying taste equivalent to a dog's nose, but I like it. I like it. I'm glad I have two of these. So I typically with limited edition or limited releases, I like to have one to drink and one to hold. I don't think both of these are gonna make it though.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, and Mala, it's interesting that you talked about that Maker's Mark, the British Bourbon Society. Yeah. Maker's Mark also did one for a group, Billy, I know you're familiar, called the Black Bourbon Society.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually have a bottle, but I'm not authorized to open it yet. I have to wait. So
why is that?
Tiff won't let me open it right now, so we'll see. She got it for me as a gift, so I'm not allowed to open it. So
I didn't know if maybe there was some rule or something like that.
No,
it's sealed with wax. You can remelt it. You know what I mean?
You know what? I thought about it because I want to try it. So I've had it now for I don't know if it's been a year. So no, it's been it's right before COVID. So what, 8 months, I guess. So I'll drink out of this is a Black Bourbon Society Glencairn. It's kind of wide as you see. So
very nice, very nice. Billy.
Sounds really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, first and foremost, be good to yourself.
Here we go.
Cheers, Billy.
Nice to see everybody.
Yes.
Well, I can tell you, celebrate my birthday tomorrow, 45 years.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Many happy returns.
And we're right in the middle of a tropical storm. I almost lost a couple of trees in the backyard today. So
2020 just won't give up, will it?
It will not.
No, it won't. But it hasn't been all bad. One of my good fans of Be Good to Yourself and Cafe 305 sent me Old Ezra 7.
Yes.
And let me tell you, I am highly impressed. This is something that I'll definitely keep on my bar. 117 proof.
Wow.
So it's got some kick to it, but as you guys can see, I've been trying to hold back, and
it's so strong it's evaporating.
You put a little bit of a dent in there.
Wait a minute, real quick. When did you receive it?
I received this. Okay, so I received it on Friday. I didn't open.
Wait a minute. Today is just Sunday.
So yes, I didn't open it on Friday. I opened it Saturday.
That's even worse.
I was expecting you to say 20 minutes ago.
That's funny.
You know what it was when I did my video yesterday with the pizza and the beer? I was like, So yeah, it's been going. But listen, it's great. I'm actually having this neat. I do let it open up. It's got some beautiful tasting notes to it. It's got some decent legs on it. And from what I understand, it's becoming allocated now. So it's going to be a little harder to get your hands on. The crazy
that's
thing
why
was,
you can't find it.
The crazy thing was, this was probably about maybe 2 or 3 months ago. I walked into just a random liquor store, and I had posted on the VIP page, "Is this worth anything?" And everybody was like, "Yeah, it's okay." And now you can't get it.
Oh man, I must not have seen that because I would have told you to grab it. I love OE7.
Yeah,
you've had it on the show numerous times.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that a Lux Row Distilling?
What's that?
Isn't that Lux Row Distilling?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. But listen, it's great stuff. I mean, it really is. I mean, I don't know, these angels around here, they just keep taking their cut and taking their cut. You know, they're taxing me over here. So, but no, it's good stuff. And because of the storm that we're in the middle of, there's no work tomorrow. So I really don't know how much longer this is going to last.
You know, Friday started on Saturday, gone on Monday. I see how that is.
Yeah.
Well, welcome again.
It's quicker than the voting.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A would have made that, knocked that out of the ballpark. But anyway, moving past Chick-fil-A to Rob. Rob, how you doing, buddy?
Doing okay. Long day, you know. So Doing a little Eagle Rare neat tonight.
Eagle Rare.
Nice.
So
Nice.
yeah, got to do what you got to do. Said I've got some shoulder and arm issues. Spent an hour in an MRI getting scanned today. So fun times.
Are you still male?
Huh? Yeah, I am. Didn't shrink it. They only took me in up to my belly, so I'm all right.
Was that? Oh,
I'm
never
not going
mind.
to comment.
I'm not either. I stopped myself.
Thanks, boys.
We love you,
So
Rob. You know that.
We do that, yeah.
I've been at home here. My wife wasn't feeling well, so I was scrambling to make her some dinner.
That
That looks
Eagle
good.
Rare will numb the pain.
There you go.
What is that? It looks fabulous.
Yeah, that looks really good.
I did cider brine pork chops, grilled them,
Ooh.
made a apple and bacon topping, deglazed the pan with a little bourbon, a little demerara sugar. Oh, and the pork chops are glazed with Cafe 305.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice. Cheers on that.
Listen,
I'll drink to that.
if you don't
And I
drink
need
to
you to
that
send me that
combination,
recipe.
there's nothing to drink to.
Right.
Rob, I'm gonna toast to that, but I need you to send me that recipe.
Actually, I think that in order for you to stay on the page, you need to put that in the chat.
We'll take a vote on that.
I'm sitting here thinking, I make something, or my wife makes something, and she's fabulous. And I like to think I do relatively well as well. But I'm sitting here going, this is truly comfort food. If I didn't feel good, that's what I want right there. I'm looking at that, and I'm like, oh my God, that's pork chops glazed with Cafe 305. It's got all these veggies on top, and I'm like, oh my God, this looks fabulous. And
that looks really good, Rob. That looks really good.
And on top of that,
Rob just ruined the joke.
Totally winged it. I mean, I just
but a chef can wing it. Whereas novice are sitting there like I show my wife, she's like, what is this? I'm like, well, it's supposed to look like this picture. She goes, you realize in that picture that it's like edible looking food. And I'm like, well, so, and just to be clear, I was being funny. I'm just saying that as a non-chef, it's hard to make things look as they are. Whereas you two guys are like, I didn't really know what to do, so I just threw this together and boom, this is what I got, and it's like something you'd order up at a restaurant.
The only
Both
thing
of you
I
guys.
was cider brine and
then
chops.
I do have some true concerns for Billy because, or better yet, not concerns. it might be more of, why aren't you marketing whatever type of weight loss drugs you're using? Because nobody on earth can eat what you're eating.
And stay the same weight.
Yeah. And then drink between yesterday and today, drink a half bottle of what is it? Ezra 7. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And go and at 114 proof. I mean, come on.
Can I just ask, has anybody on this page ever seen Billy from below this point?
I have because I searched his pictures.
Right. Okay. Are they recent pictures?
And some of those I regret searching.
Are they pictures since he started eating 17 meals a day?
But I will admit this. So to make the pizza, I said, you need to have some beer with pizza. So I kid you not, I finished half the Ezra, well, almost half, and I did finish a 6-pack of the Fat Tire, or 3 of them at least. And yesterday I ate the entire pizza by myself.
My God.
I don't know how to put this the right way, but you should be an absolute fat ass. You should be on that My 600-Pound Life or something like that, whatever that show's called, 900-pound or whatever. Dude, that's insane.
1,000, I think it is.
Who knows? You should be like a reality star on that page, based upon just solely what you eat, unless what you do is like, all right, I'm gonna make this up, but before I get a reward, I'm gonna run 2 marathons back to back.
Yeah.
And then at lunch, I'm going to do, I don't know, 1 billion push-ups or something.
No.
And then right before dinner, I'm going to, and there can't be any intercourse in this involved because your life has to be way too busy in order to keep the calories down.
Well,
I'm sorry, whoopee.
There's only one good answer for that, Billy.
What's that?
You just tell them be good. You tell them be good to yourself. That's all you got to say.
That's it. That's the miracle cure. That's the silver bullet.
Yeah.
Silver bullet would be a cardiac arrest for me. So.
Hey, Jody's gonna get us all shot.
Yeah.
That pizza you had yesterday looked phenomenal.
It did.
Yeah.
First of all, let's be real here. Have you ever made anything where we all go, nah, that looks okay?
Yeah.
Or just Rob too. Like I remember.
Yeah, Rob's got some good pizzas.
Yeah,
too.
like before you came on here, Rob was our only chef, and it was like, how does people eat this all the time? Like I couldn't do that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want that to happen in my life. I'm just saying that I can't imagine it. Here I was talking about the defect earlier today in Iraq being freaking awesome on Friday nights for surf and turf, where we got a lobster and a steak. I was like, that is awesome. And I see what you guys cook every day, and I'm like, I'm missing out on the real world. I was living in third world country, eating rice and beans.
I will tell you guys this. A lot of my inspiration does come from Rob, because listen, you can't do anything about experience. And listen, when you look at Rob's dishes, you can tell that is somebody who knows what they're doing. And believe it or not, just to be able to speak to somebody who knows what they're doing, it can give you some inspiration. It fires you up. It keeps you going. It's like, all right, I gotta keep my game up. I'm
a big fan of shared knowledge as well. Big fan of that.
And I always try to do things that anybody can do. Like, so when I did my pizza yesterday,
that is such bullshit, bro. You guys say that, but I'm looking at some of the stuff both you guys make, and I'm like, I feel like a relatively smart guy, but I mean, are we doing E equals MC squared in this? Because there's like some kind of craziness going on. Like,
well, listen,
is there a drone involved?
No. Listen, if you go back and look at my pro tip for pizza dough, it's super simple. And even when I make
pro
the
tip
pizza,
for pizza dough, that's so funny.
It is.
I know, I'm with you, but my pro tip for pizza dough is I go down to Kroger's. I'm like, hey, where's the pizza dough at? Like already made out round or square or whatever.
Boboli is what I use.
Yeah, I think the same with me too.
I made it so easy for anybody watching the video for the pizza. I did the pizza in a pan because not everybody has a pizza brick or a pizza oven in their house. So I actually made.
Why'd you roll your eyes when you said that? like
no,
normal.
I didn't roll my eyes, but you know what it is.
You normal people,
a lot of times,
you people beneath me don't have a pizza oven.
No, but listen, if you look at a lot of the shows like on the Food Network and the Cooking Channel,
that's true.
You look at these chefs and they're sitting in their kitchen at home, but their kitchen is a $2 million chef kitchen. Where they got double ovens, they got an 8-burner stove, they got a rotisserie over here in the corner that you don't see. And I'm like, listen,
the ingredients that they have in the cupboard as well is okay, let's just see what we've got in here. We've got we've got some truffles, we've got some average weekly shopping. Hell no, that's not average shopping.
And listen,
the
pizza dough is water, sugar, salt, flour, and yeast. That's it. All stuff you can get at the grocery store. And even at the grocery store, the yeast is portioned out for you.
Yeah.
So there's no science to it.
I probably stick with the Boboli.
I do love to cook. I really do love to cook, and
I do too.
The pizza oven as well, but yeah.
But my manhood feels a lot less every time I look at Billy and Rob's food. I'm like, come on, man.
That's one of the points I was going to make.
And also, you guys got to know this: all chefs go to heaven. It's automatic. It's an automatic end. Because you go through hell down here, so when you get up there, they're like, well, he's already been the other place, so let him in,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to some good barbecue.
Listen, we do the 1 year anniversary. I guarantee you, every last one of y'all gonna be 15 pounds heavier.
I believe that. I've seen your food, but the point is how do you not get 15 pounds heavier?
Right.
Because he works his ass off. That's how.
Don't hold up a bottle of calories and say, this is how I do it. They don't even make sense. Like a blonde describing a right-hand turn.
You spend a lot of times inside of a hot kitchen, you're bound to burn calories.
Well, listen, when you work in the restaurant industry or the hospitality industry, period, you're on your feet 10, 12, sometimes more every day. I mean, listen, and don't ever underestimate somebody who works in that industry.
Oh, I don't.
They may not be the fastest person running, but from an endurance standpoint, Rob will run circles around you guys, and it'd be like,
hey, so kind of moving from that, I was asking Mal before he came on here, and it's only because I was asking about hunting and stuff like that, and so I want to specify the question a little bit different. I just got back from camping this morning, and so do you guys now? First of all, poor Mark, I'm never going camping in Arizona. Period. That's just stupid. That's called death, is what that's called.
I concur.
But for the rest of you guys, do you go camping? Do you have a certain like time of the year you like to go and temperature you prefer? And then is there one thing that you can think of that you would draw from that and go, food wise or drink wise or whatever, that you go, that is fabulous. That's why I do it.
I've never camped a day in my life. I have no plan. The closest I'll get to camping is sitting at the Marriott, maybe or the Hilton on Fifth Avenue in New York City.
Closest you'll get to camping is a hotel car park.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm glad I asked the question then. Apparently,
I might be your only hope, Jody. Because I hunt, camp, fish, all that stuff. I enjoy it a lot.
Well, here in South Florida, there's not a whole lot of places to go hunting per se.
Well, I didn't specify just hunting. I said like I was
camping,
specifically referring to camping.
Even still, Northern Florida, yes, but here in South Florida, really the only place to go camping like that is probably like in the Everglades. And they have cabins and stuff like that, but
that's active camping.
Yeah.
Were you in a tent, Jody?
Oh, of course, that's the only way I camp.
Yeah. I use the. I'm fortunate. My father-in-law has property in the Northwoods of Wisconsin, so we can. Sometimes we tent it. Sometimes we go in the cabin, and we got the deer hunting up there. You can pheasant hunt. Partridge, you got trout fishing, so I'm pretty lucky.
Well,
it's like
the reason why
awesome.
The reason why I asked that question is some of the big things that I freaking love about camping. It's not just the fellowship with your family and stuff like that, or your dogs. As some of you guys might follow my little dog's page, Little Chief Murphy. But anyway, on Instagram. But anyway, it's the outside of all that, it's the other things like. I'm not drinking out of a glass cup, or a glass, Stein or whatever, or, whatever to drink, any type of bourbon or anything. It's usually a plastic cup with a couple ice cubes in it. And you're sitting there, you're telling stories with your family and friends and just chilling and stuff.
Yeah.
But the big
campfire,
things, yeah, with campfire and all that, and just the smell of the campfire. And then last night, I don't know if there's something going on in this part of where I live in Tennessee, but the coyotes were wild last night. I mean, they're always wild, but what I'm saying is they were extremely loud. My oldest son let me know that they were loud here at the house, and they were just crazy last night. And about 2:30 in the morning, they were just howling like crazy. But that's kind of stuff you don't get typically indoors. Of course, my oldest son said last night he could hear them definitely in here. But like campfire coffee. Dude, that is the best coffee in the world. Why that's not a niche and people aren't buying it, I don't know. But it is awesome. And that's my preference. And then, of course, like making, my wife was making bacon and pancakes this morning. And she was turning them into like this pancake taco where you had the bacon in between it with the syrup on it, and everybody's just eating it by the campfire, and it's freaking fabulous.
It's s'mores in there as well. That'd be nice.
No, s'mores were last night. This was breakfast this morning.
Yeah,
I personally don't like s'mores, to be honest with you. I don't like marshmallows and chocolate. I don't know why it is. I just don't. And then graham crackers, it just seems like it's drying my mouth out. I just don't like that.
Yeah, well, you are a little
s'mores are the best.
Well,
s'mores are the best.
I hate to throw out the stereotype. Camping. Look, I'm an emoji.
You're hilarious.
No, I've probably been camping maybe twice in my life.
So what you're telling me is black folks don't camp. I got you.
It's extremely rare. Extremely rare. When I was a kid, we used to go. It was just like a timeshare. These parks used to be called Jellystone Park. You know, named after Yogi Bear. I don't know if
I was going to say, were you with Yogi?
Yeah, it was I guess kind of partitioned off. You could kind of camp a little bit, but yeah, that was maybe I was 10 years old. Maybe I didn't do that much because I was like, okay, this is taking me away from my trumpet. So yeah, and I don't want to be out here. I'd rather go get some bacon out of the oven or off the stove. Yeah.
And black people believe in Jason, so we don't go camping.
Black people believe in Jason. It's always derails, no matter where we go. I try to ask a serious question.
That was a good question.
It was. I thought it was something that I had thought about when I was out there. I was like, I'm gonna ask the guys. Like, I love hunting. I love camping. And
how can I ask a question that will set Billy up for some casual racism this week?
Was that your samurai sword or what?
So I'm an island boy as well. So yeah. This is common for island folks. You will always find a machete. If you know anyone from the islands, there's always one of these somewhere around.
There's only one way to open a coconut, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny. Like when I go camping, the big things I bring with me, like defensive tools or stuff that I need for application to be able to apply, is a hatchet, a knife, and I always carry a gun with me. Always. So like I'd own a machete. I could carry a machete, but it's not something I would take typically camping with me. Mm-hmm. So I guess we could follow that up with, if we were with, I guess, per Mark and Billy, if we were with all white people from the South, that live near the sticks, what would be some of those things you would take with you? Or better yet, let's do it differently since it's a bourbon show. What type of bourbon would you take? And I already told you guys, I prefaced it earlier. I took Jefferson's rum cast because one, it's a low proof, and you can sit there and have a few drinks with your family and hear stories and watch your kids do some, act out some funny things and this, that, and whatever, and just really be able to be a part. You can have a few, you can have a few over a long period of time. Is what I should say.
Yeah.
And when you have a low proof, without acting like, I don't know, without feeling like you're sleepy or something, So if you guys, and imagine this, Billy and Mark, per your own words, because I want to make sure that I quantify this by saying it's not my words, because I do believe there's at least one black person that may go camping, but based upon you guys don't go and no black person goes. But if we could include everybody, and Mark doesn't go, or I'm sorry, not Mark, but Rob doesn't go just because he thinks it's stupid. But if we were going to go camping and we were going to pick I don't know why it's just not me and James tonight. If we were going to pick a bourbon, to take with us, to maybe sit by a fire, take camping out of it altogether. That way we can be inclusive again. See, Billy, see what I did there? That was inclusive.
Sit by the fire.
We're here.
Yeah,
I've got the perfect low proof for that, I believe anyway, and it's one of my everyday pours. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I haven't cut off. Is the long branch, the wild turkey long branch, because you've got that mesquite in there, so you've got that wood in there, and
that's a good pick. I like that.
And it's an 80 dot, whatever it is, 80.
No, I think it's 90.
86.
Is it? Oh,
I
okay.
thought it was 90.
Yeah, I was reading it.
You know what I would probably take? I would probably take like a Buffalo Trace, seeing as you're not gonna really have any ice on you. And Buffalo Trace you can take neat, you know,
Mm.
and I don't think it's something you're gonna get totally wasted on. So you probably can have it throughout the night as long as you ease into it. I would definitely take a Buffalo Trace. That would probably make me enjoy camping quite a bit. Yeah.
Again, I want to be inclusive. I want to be inclusive.
Yeah.
I want to say, take camping out of it. Say we're just going out on the back porch. And we're going because I have a fire, 2 of them, and like a fire pit, and then on the deck we have a fire pit as well. For like just sitting out there and just having a fire and watching the stars and stuff like that. Since we know based on the evidence that's been proven this evening, there's only 2 of us that would engage in camping, apparently. Okay, I'm sorry. Three of 6. That's 50%. It's not bad. So maybe.
Mal said he would, yeah.
Okay. I jumped up the percentages, which makes it easier than 33.3 repeating. So with that being said,
So
what would you?
Go ahead, James.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I like camping. I like a Canadian whiskey. I like that. You had it out the other day when we were talking. I like that Caribou Crossing.
Yep, I like Caribou
bring
Crossing.
that up camping.
Never tried.
And I've done that 40 Creek.
That was the one I was getting ready to say.
Reserve and
that was exactly what I was getting ready to say.
Yeah, that's a good camping whiskey.
I was actually torn between the 40 Creek because I almost went out yesterday to pick up a bottle of 40 Creek because honestly, 40 Creek is, to me,
that's good stuff.
That is but here's the thing. Yesterday, it wasn't too cold here. If it would have been cold for camping, like my preference is to camp in like where the high is like 50 at most, and then who knows what the low is, but that's my preference to camp. A 40 Creek sitting by the fire, you can drink it neat like that and have it because it's being air chilled and having and it's also a low proof. You can have that and it just has a nice taste to it. That is perfect. And you can still fight off a bear if you need to. So it's cool.
Yeah.
So I sit out back often because I do have a fire pit and
in the desert.
I don't know if you can beat the Arizona night skies in terms of seeing stars.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous.
That is true. That's true.
So so this time of year, I'm out back often, and I'll sit out late, watching stars, have a fire going and cigar and some bourbon. If I'm sitting out there, depending on who's with me, like if it's my dad and I, we'll probably would have Buffalo Trace, but we would probably also have maybe Four Roses Yellow Label.
Yeah, that's another good one. Four Roses would be a good one. That's a good call.
Yeah.
Good old Elijah Craig. You'll never go wrong with Elijah Craig.
I agree.
Never go wrong with Elijah Craig.
Those 80 to 95 proofers are good for that.
Yeah.
Now, I think the consistent key is lower proof and something that you can drink smoothly, like for all people. Like we all can drink pretty much anything neat. Yeah. And be okay with it, and we know how to control. Like I'm drinking Mount Gay neat right now. I've been drinking it neat since my second glass, but now I've only poured a little bit each time. But
I love you, Jody.
And I love you too, Mark. But anyway, so I think you have to look at it in that aspect as a lower proof, and like Mount Gay is 86 proof, so it's 43% alcohol. You got a low percentage of alcohol in it, so you've got something that's kind of smooth where you're going to get those tastes. And honestly, for me tonight, this was though I love Mount Gay, it's a bad choice for tonight's show because what I had last night was perfect for the environment. It wasn't too cold, wasn't too hot, and it kind of gave you that kind of early fall feeling. Yeah. But I'll be perfectly honest, we would have been full in the fall. I would have drove down the road to find 40 Creek because 40 Creek is my preferred outdoor, like when it's cold, like outdoor drink outside. I just feel like I should be in a parka and sitting around, a bunch of Eskimos by a campfire and getting ready to go into our ice house to freeze our ass off.
Something high rye, like a rye, like a Rittenhouse or something like that. Just sort of internal central heating as well would be good. I think.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, the ryes would be. Yeah, you kind of don't really think about those being kind of that, but I could see the ryes. kind of like if it was you were cold camping, when it was colder out.
Yeah.
Like here, we even still get out there when there's still snow, and a rye would be a nice warmer for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's funny because you bring up a different thing, like the crisp air. A 40 Creek, I can totally feel. Totally. And if you guys haven't tried a 40 Creek, a lot of people look at it. A lot of people look at it as kind of being one of the cheaper, or maybe one of the higher end Canadians, but one of the cheaper still trying to play in the bourbon market. And I don't even think they are actually trying, to be honest with you. I think they're just a whiskey that makes, in my opinion, something that's really smooth, and in my opinion, something that's really, really good that you can drink straight in the cold. And some of that nature. But now what you brought up is something that I haven't done in a long time, which is camp in the snow. And I do think that Mal brought up a very specific point that you then clarified there, Sir James, and that was that a high rye whiskey would be fabulous if it's cold. Imagine waking up, getting ready to have a coffee, and maybe pour a little bit of that rye into your coffee just to get that internal flame going.
It's the heat that you can feel right in the middle, and it just radiates out. And it's just
it starts about here, and it goes and it just follows itself down. But I think that's a very valid point. It would be something that would be, in my opinion, definitely something to look at. And people like, no, I don't know so much, Billy, because I do know in parts of Florida it gets really cold. And I do know Mark has places within Arizona, because I've been to them, they get a lot of snow and are really a lot of fun to hang out and stuff. But you guys would probably have a different take on the type of outdoor by the fire whiskey. And just imagine it with your friends or family, and you're gonna have more than an hour conversation. You're gonna have maybe 2 hours, 4 hours. You're gonna sit out there all afternoon. And I think that's the reason why you guys said like Buffalo Trace, and Mark's like he brought up that it depends on who he's with, and I think that's true. I think that's a fair point to make. Depends on who you're with.
That situation where you're sitting around the fire, you open the bottle and you do not close it until it's finished. That kind of atmosphere.
No, I don't do that ever unless I'm with a lot of people. That's just not who I am.
I mean, I'm not talking about solo here. I'm talking about with a group of people over a long period of time, just sitting around, chewing the fat, just getting on with it, and just shooting the shit, as it were. And I agree.
I agree with you, Jody. It matters like who you're with too, because I have buddies. I won't give them a foolproof whiskey. It's just a waste. Of giving them something cask strength, but you give them something friendly, and that like you said, that Jefferson's, they make that small batch.
Yep.
I usually keep that on hand because it's like 82 or something, and they'll drink
proof.
it and sit by the fire, and like if you break out like something over 100, they think it's, even though we would like it, it'd be gasoline to them,
They start like
it just kills you.
Yeah, I've got a really fantastic English whiskey for that sort of situation now.
English whiskey. It makes two shows and the VIP.
And it does matter about who you're with, because it's like you guys ever see somebody ask for a cigar who doesn't smoke cigars?
That would be me.
You're like, I'm not giving you one of my.
You could have gave me a black and tan. I would have been like, okay, this is all right, and I'd had the same feeling probably.
So
as something else.
There's some of my friends I wouldn't give Buffalo Trace to because I feel like they waste it.
Right.
See? There you go. So,
however, real quick, I do want to quantify something before we go back to you, Billy, and that is that I have been smoking more cigars because Mark has hooked me up, and I actually pulled out some of my collection that I got that are actual Cubans, and I also have a true Guatemalan cigar and stuff, and I'm liking them. It's just that with all my allergies and being allergic to smoke and stuff like that, you have to I need to be south of the wind, and the wind's pushing past me or whatever. But anyway, back to you, Billy. I apologize.
It's just, and I wouldn't be against camping, but I definitely think it would have to be with the right group of people, and even so a little bit tougher, the right environment. I'm okay with some chill in the air, but do I want to be outside in 30-degree weather? No, probably
not. Yes, I do. I do want to be in that. I really do.
But Billy, how do they feel about fires on Miami Beach in March time?
You can actually do a fire on the beach in Fort Lauderdale, but you can't do it in Miami. But I would definitely dig that. You can actually do a bonfire on the beach. You just have to get the permit, but they do allow it. Yeah.
I'm just thinking about the one year, dude.
Well, I'm thinking about, if we're thinking about the 1 year, we could also go to the mountains, and we could get a cabin, which would be relatively inexpensive for all of us. Like our
That'd be
pitch in,
cool.
and then we all pitch in, and then we'd have the best of both worlds. Like people could stay warm, and then those of us who want to be cold could
venture out.
Yeah. And then we could try these hypotheses we have of which bourbons we like best, or which whiskeys or whatever.
Oh, it'll be a show. Listen, between the food and the bourbon, oh, forget about it.
Probably wouldn't make it outside.
So what I'm hearing is we got to have more than 2 facilities in the facility.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Especially if there's a lot of pizza.
But I like camping food though. I like cooking in the outdoors over an open fire. I actually quite enjoy that. I like rustic food. As much as I can do the fancy stuff and whatnot, I like rustic food. I mean, I can tell you the worst experience I ever had. I went to this real high class, like 3 Michelin star restaurant, whatever. And I kid you not, when I left, I was hungry. And it was like, to me,
I hate that.
it was like,
happens all too much, man. Happens all too much.
I'm 240 pounds. Why are you gonna give me a 3-ounce steak? What am I gonna do with this? And it's like, no, okay.
Yeah,
I'll go home.
You're like, where's the rest? Where's the rest of it?
Yeah.
There better be 4 pounds of vegetables coming with it if I'm getting a 3-ounce steak.
And a lot of potatoes.
I don't know if I could eat that many potatoes, but I could definitely hammer down some vegetables. So,
but definitely though, when it comes to like, if I think about camping food, doing some nice, kibasas or steaks, some potatoes over open fire, something like that.
Oh yeah.
Breakfast, the thick cut bacon, potatoes. That I can definitely get into that.
I like to put
I put you a tent up in the backyard.
Fish.
You put me a tent in the backyard.
I like to wrap fish in foil with lemon and butter and rosemary and stuff. Wrap it in the foil and cook it over the fire outside. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I agree. I 1,000% agree. Clean that fish out. Put it, wrap it in some lemon and some oil and some and all the extra whatever you might want to have for spices. Yeah. Wrap it in aluminum foil, butter, of course, and heavy butter. By the way, for me, I got to have heavy butter because to me it makes it much more. It brings out the natural oils in the fish, and then just wrap it up, and it's just like making a baked potato, but about 1/10 of the time to cook.
Yeah.
So, so we actually.
Oh.
What's that?
I say it's fresh out the water too. Oh, you can't beat it.
Well, see, I love fish. My wife is not a big fan of fish, so I eat a lot of seafood with me and my middle son. Sometimes my youngest son engages as well. But it's almost like we're cheating on them. We have to run out and do it like as a guy trip between the 3 of us, or just me and the middle son, depending on what it is. She's not a big fan of it. She just doesn't like the smell of it, and I get it. And I mean, I personally do prefer. I like that cooking fish smell. But that's because I like fish. But I can only imagine if it was something I didn't like. Like a lot of people hate the smell of Brussels sprouts or
my daughter hates Brussels sprout smell.
Or
Really?
broccoli, and both of those I can absolutely hammer down like it was my job. So I get it. Totally get it.
Most people associate Brussels sprouts with what they used to get as frozen, pre-cooked.
Yeah.
And then they try heating up. You boil the frozen Brussels sprouts for an hour, and they just taste like shit.
Yeah.
And then if you roast those things and put some true maple syrup on them, oh my God, it is awesome.
Fry them in bacon, with the bacon bits, and fry them up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The bacon bits with Brussels sprouts and that's an awesome one. I agree, Mal.
Real quick, just make so we're clear. Bacon with anything is solid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, just don't discount bacon's gift to our earth. It is awesome in all aspects.
Listen, I put bacon in ice cream. Listen, yesterday I glazed my pizza with bacon fat. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Did you know that? Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but if you go to Five Guys, I'm sure you guys have a Five Guys there. They have a bacon. They have a bacon shake, right? And
we don't have one over here, but yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, I forgot. I meant for the rest of the free world. But
we have Five Guys, but I've never seen a bacon shake.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's cool. Anyway, so they have this thing called a bacon shake, and essentially, or allegedly, I should say, it was what Elvis Presley had every single day of his life.
Yeah, I've heard that.
We can see that though, but
this explains a lot.
I thought it was like bacon and peanut butter, wasn't it?
I don't know what's on it. I was just like, I love bacon. I think it's the greatest thing ever, but I'm like, I'm not putting it in a shake with milk. I've never looked at bacon and milk and go, that's my jam. No.
Yeah, it doesn't really sound good.
The reason you can find bacon in a lot of dessert or sweet items is because bacon adds that little bit of saltiness to kind of help balance things out. And
I agree.
Frankly, you can't go wrong with bacon. If you don't like bacon, or if the smell of bacon cooking in the morning don't wake you up, you're probably dead. More than likely.
Or you're a communist.
You know.
Or yeah, I would agree with that.
Hey, here's the other thing too. If you don't like bacon, don't like this page or me.
Yeah,
get out.
Because that's just stupid.
I love bacon, so you can tell my rabbi and my imam. I love bacon. Don't tell my priest, because if you tell the priest or the pastor, they're going to try to eat it before I will.
Here's the thing, though. An imam, do you think he truly doesn't like bacon? I mean, let's be real. Let's be real, because that's the thing that every time I know some people who are Muslim and they say, "Well, can't eat bacon." I'm like, but you would. You would if it wasn't a sin, right?
We'll talk to VIP.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're not part of the VIP, please be part of it. It's a lot of fun. It's how we meet a lot of our people. It's how every single person on the show, minus Mal, became a member of the show, was via the VIP.
Yep.
That's only because I was one of the originals.
Yeah. You're an OG. You're an OG.
I'm an OG.
Mal, I got a quick question for Mal. So when I sent you the stickers, you said you had to pay a tariff or something on that, correct?
I did. I had to pay duty on the stickers.
Ah, damn. Sorry.
No,
hey, look,
sorry.
if you purchase bourbons, say from Germany, would you have to pay any tariffs on that, or no? Because you guys are no longer EU now. Damn.
Well, it's end of December, but that's almost encroaching on political discussion, which we're not going to get into. But come end of December, yes, we are. So far, up to now, yes, we would. So there are beer shops and certain, I mean, we can get alcohol from, say, German sites, French sites, and
or Italy, or okay,
Dutch sites.
Okay.
Well, let me ask you this: can you get olive oil from pretty much any place without paying a tariff on it?
It all depends on the olive oil.
I bet Italy. I bet they'll eat you alive in Italy.
Wow. So Mel, let me ask you a question.
Popeye's not a fan.
So over there where you are, like here, we can go to a liquor store, and except for some of the unicorns, it's pretty much relatively easy, whether we know somebody somewhere who can get it for us. Is there something over there that you can walk into any liquor store and get that we can't just walk in and get here? Like Jack Daniels is everywhere. Buffalo Trace is easy to find.
Export there,
Yeah.
so that
Gold
you
label,
can't.
gold label, Blanton's
Blanton's.
for sure.
Yeah.
Gold label. He can
I've
pick
got
that
a-
up as I guess his job.
I've never even seen a bottle of that.
Do you want to see two? Because I've got them here.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
see
you pick-
him on. I see him on your bar there in the corner behind your shoulder.
Yeah, well, that's my full one. The other one's underneath the
that's
pea shooter
that's
there.
before one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one. I got one left.
Okay, so you can get Blanton's, the gold. Anything else you can walk in and get?
Traditionally, standard. So our standard fare over here is Buffalo Trace, the Woodford, standard Woodford. We can get Eagle Rare pretty easily, but it's like £45, which is about $40 for the 70. So 70 CL rather than 75 CL, so just under a fifth, because everything's 70 over here. Wild turkeys, we can get the standard, the 101s. We can get the Long Branch, okay. Jack Daniels, we can get all right. That bottle of Weller in the corner there, I used to have 3 kids. I've only got 2 now. So that's why I've got that bottle of Weller. That was a joke, by the way.
We got you.
Yeah,
it was the delivery.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. You don't get British humor now. So it is.
Well, it's because we're all sitting here trying to translate it.
Damn,
kind of switching to standard English. I must apologise. I haven't got my telephone voice on at the moment. I don't think there's anything apart from your standard kind of your British rums. Rob, you mentioned that you saw the cut rums over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not necessarily that because that's Cornish. The Dead Man's Fingers, Jody, of which I've still got a bottle of olive oil to send over with some candy. I don't know. I don't think there's anything that we can get that you guys can't, to be completely honest with you.
Now, like all the other party stuff, like rums, vodkas, and tequilas, since it's not a big like market on it like it is for the bourbons, is that stuff pretty easy for you guys to get as well?
Yeah. I mean, I've got a bottle of mezcal, the Lajita mezcal. I've got a bottle of Terramana, which I had to sell my soul for. Other than that, gins mainly is the done thing over here. So gin, the standard vodkas, so Russian standards, Smirnoffs and all that kind of stuff. Grey Goose.
I bet you guys do pretty well with rums, though. With especially being in the UK with so many islanders up there. You got a bunch of Trinis and Jamaicans. I bet you get a million different rums.
Your Havana Club 7's one of my favorites. The Mount Gay, we can get Mount Gay relatively easily.
Mount Gay's good, by the way.
Yes, it is.
I absolutely love the stuff. Yeah, like I say, the Havana, the Appleton Estates, that kind of thing.
There you
Great,
go.
awesome. Yeah, we can get that sort of stuff.
Nice.
But,
funny, Joey?
What?
The scotches, the scotches and what have you. Most of the scotches are available worldwide because their import game is strong.
Yeah, you're right there too.
Right.
Yeah, I'll say, Jody, a lot of Americans, in terms of rum, Americans, especially American whiskey drinkers, love Foursquare.
I've never tried it.
Americans will tell you that Foursquare is the best rum on earth.
That's that cast strength, isn't it?
Foursquare. And I mean, they run up
cast
in
strength,
now.
Right?
There's so many different ones now. They run up into hundreds of bucks now. And to me, they start tasting more like Scotch. I like my rums to taste like rum. But again,
I agree with you there.
I've grown up on rums, so
yeah.
You pull a bottle of Foursquare and a Mount Gay with anyone from the islands, and we will murder that Mount Gay, and that Foursquare will sit there. And all of this one.
Actually, this will be the last thing we say before we close off tonight. But we had a rum show during one of the early episodes where we had a very knowledgeable rum connoisseur with Adrian Breedlove, and anyway, he knows a lot about rum, and so much so he's making his own. and he had recommended the Mount Gay. I had gotten it. I'll be honest with you, it is my favorite. It's my favorite rum to drink straight, I guess, because otherwise I feel like I want to mix it. I do like the Zacapa, but I actually prefer the 23 over the XO, and I have both.
That makes sense.
The Ron Zapaka 23 is a good one. I like that.
And it's got all three of them. Well, that's not true. The Zacapa XO has a higher price point, but typically rum has got a pretty decent price point for consumption.
It does.
So, hey, listen, guys, I appreciate you guys getting together tonight. This was a lot of fun. Always enjoy talking with you guys. Always enjoy the camaraderie, the barking dog, whatever it might be. I enjoy all of it, and I think all of you guys are class act individuals, and I love all you guys equally. But with that being said, let's, which I was able to hold to the very end there, Mal, because Mal likes to send me messages going, you say with that being said. And I'm like,
I'm disgusted that you've even done it, but yeah, carry on.
Carry on. Cheerio. Anyhow, so everybody always drink responsibly. No drinking and driving. I don't know your limits, and have a good time, and watch our show, and be part of the VIP. And best yet, be part of Cafe 305 and our VIP, and also follow us on YouTube. That being said, again, Mao.
Cheers.
Oh,
cheers. Good night.
Good to you.
All right, brothers.
Cheers, brothers. Have a good night.
Likewise.